Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Dave. This is Repairs Rule, where I talk about all different types of side hustles for people that are retired or people that are near retirement. But these side hustles can actually work for anyone. So, one of the side hustles that I talk about is eBay. And I mean, I've done eBay since 99, I believe it was, is when I started my eBay journey. And it's a learning experience. But now, I mean, with the internet, there's all kinds of information out there, and you can learn a lot before you even go to sell anything. So I wanted to come on here and explain there's people out there that they just don't understand what eBay's really all about. They just think you're selling some old stuff from your house. But in the eBay community, there are things called BOLOs, BOLO. And what that stands for is be on the lookout for these items. And the longer you do this, the longer your BOLO list will be. And you'll learn about all different kinds of categories and items and categories that people would not even think of. They wouldn't even consider looking for these items. But I wanted to bring up a couple BOLOs and show you, give you an example. And these BOLOs I'm going to bring you are for shock value. I'm definitely putting them on for shock value. But I want you to think, just consider the possibilities. And you know that's what I'm about. My whole channel is about keeping your eyes open, learning, and watch for those opportunities that arise. So, what I want to show you, the first items I've sold myself that I'm going to show you. Um, and it's surprising. If you know any grandpa, which I am, any yard sale that you go to that is out in the country, especially, this first item that I'm going to show you are clothing that's made by a company called Carhartt. Many of you will be familiar with Carhartts, but what you won't be familiar with, many of you, was is the condition that you can sell Carhartt in, and it is very surprising. I actually heard a story. Let me tell you the story real quick of someone that sells Carhartts, and actually they sell a lot of old work clothing. That they had two ladies that would come and buy from there. I think they were set up in a flea market, if I remember right. But they would regularly come and go through their old clothing and buy clothing for a pattern. Actually, for a pattern. They were looking for old, worn out work clothes. So finally, this seller at this flea market asked, "What are you doing with these?" And these two ladies explain that they buy them for patterns. They take them back to their studio, break them down, and they reconstruct out of new material these items that are dilapidated, that are worn out. They are going for that look. And the seller asked that doesn't make sense to them. And they said, well, they believe that a lot of their clientele are looking for hard used work clothing that makes them have the appearance that they work and they don't. And they spend a lot of money on these custom design or remanufactured, or I'm not sure how you want to say it, but taking old clothing, old work clothing, and making them out of new material and selling them. It amazes me. But anyway, the original um, things like Carhartts, if they're distressed, you can actually get more money out of them than if they're not distressed. So that's why I was saying if you know grandpa or an old farmer, or you go to a yard sale or garage sale that's out in the country, you definitely want to check their clothing rack and see if there's some Carhartts on that clothing rack. Now, let me jump down here to the computer and let me show you. Okay, now first up, what I have this filtered as is pre-owned, and I have these listed starting at the highest, going down to the lowest, including the shipping. This first one that you see here, I would just completely discount that. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's money laundering or something. I don't know what's happening there, but I would ignore that. I would not ignore past that though. If you look at this rare vintage Carhartt dead stock tag blanket lined work tour jacket, $6,588. Seriously, let's go on down. And if you look up here at the top, there's 34,000 results for these old used Carhartt jackets. So I'm just going to scroll down through here a little bit. 4,000, 3,500. I know this is going to shock many people on here, but they do bring high dollars. I've never gotten this kind of money out of anything that I've sold. Well, look at this one, this Detroit jacket, they call it. 2,442, and it's from Canada, and there's 15 watchers watching that item. It's amazing, and these are out there now. You hear me? You're going to catch me here. You're going to say, "Hey, I don't care what they ask for, the price they're asking, and it depends on what they sell for." Well, I'm glad you asked because we're going to go check that next. And I'm just going to scroll way on down here. You can see $1,700, and there's page after page after page. Now, 34,000 listings, like I showed you up here at the top. Now, let's go over to solds. Now, these are Carhartts that have sold. When you go to eBay and you look and you filter the solds are always shown as green. So this first one, if you're asking why the line, because they had a best offer on it and they accepted a best offer, which they're not telling you what that is. But the next one, 5,000, 3,000, 2,500. Let's go on down. Oh, before I go down, let's go back to the top here. You can see now, I showed you that there was, um, what was it, 34,000 listings. There's 27,000 solds. So these are hot items. I mean, people buy this stuff. So let's go on down a little bit here. You can see this was at an auction, 31 bids, sold for 1,250, 1,200. Let's go on down. 999. That is 999. 950. 900. Now I actually sold one that was similar to this one here a while back, but mine had a hood on it, and it sold for, I believe it was 200 that I sold that one for, and it was worn out, and you want to take really good pictures. The zipper needs to work well, but you want to show around the cuffs how it's all scratched up or distressed around the cuffs and around the pockets. People want that. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I've seen some that are threadbare. That is that, I mean, they are just so worn out, you would think for sure that they were trash. But don't trash them. If it's the right brand, people want them. So here's a BOLO for you. Be on the lookout for Carhartts, guys. I'm telling you, and they're out there. I actually sold a couple of my own. I'm just going to drop down here. I'm on page 1. Let's drop down to page 5 to see how far it drops. Okay, we're on page 5 now. And they're still sold 500, 500. 480, 495, you can see that they hold prices up. Just a regular old Carhartt jacket, especially if it's distressed a little bit, it is really good. So anyway, I wanted to bring that one to you today. There's going to be other bolos I'm going to tell you about, but this was mainly for shock value to show you that there are items out there that you've walked right by. You've been at a yard sale or a garage sale and you walked right by it, and somebody else that knows that's been watching and has the education on what sells on eBay walked right behind you, paid $2 or $5 for that jacket, and turned around and sold it for $500. So, if you like this kind of information, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.